Okay, sorry about that. Now I can hear myself. I wanted to say thank you to everybody that's here for this class. We are live streaming from the Oregon Visitor Center. So special thanks to those of you who've come out, for those of you who are live streaming, and also, like I mentioned before, thank you to the 6 households that are here to find out more about our puppy raising program. Thank you. So I wanted to say, this is a celebration. It's a celebration for 6 people, 3 of which are orientation and mobility immersion program, which we'll talk about a little bit later. And then we also have 3 brand new guide dog teams. So it takes a lot to create this program, and it takes a lot of people. And I want to say thank you to those people. The first set of people I would like to say thank you to are our puppy raisers. It is not an easy thing to do. Been there, done it. You're given a small little fluff ball. They're cute as anything. They got sharp little teeth, and they've got that new car smell, puppy breath. And you guys, you take them and you turn them into these amazing creatures. They're happy, they're well-adjusted, they're balanced. They can handle environments such as quiet towns and downtown Manhattan. It's really incredible what these people do with these dogs, and it's a long journey, so I want to say thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. I'd like to also say thank you to the donors. It really doesn't matter what amount we receive from you. We don't get any government funding. So even the smallest amount goes into the program, and we really appreciate it. I'd also like to say thank you to the volunteers. These people come in at any hour of the day. We literally have volunteers that come in the middle of the night, and they drop off the clients at the airport, or they pick them up. We have people that come in and take dogs for a walk, work in admin, gift shop, volunteers. So what do you say? Well, let's give the thank you to the donors and the volunteers. Next, I'd like to say thank you to the staff, because it does take a lot to keep this facility going, and the one in California is even bigger. So it takes a village to do this program, not just the volunteers, the donors, the puppy raisers, the staff. It takes everything. And my hat's out to you guys, everybody. Next, I'd like to show a short video, and this video is inclusive in the fact that it has closed caption. It also has a voiceover, so you're going to hear somebody describing the video. All right, guys, take it away.
At Guide Dogs for the Blind, we believe that everyone deserves to move through the world safely and confidently, to live the life they want to live.
A man and his guide dog walk through a park.
Our life-changing programs meet people who are blind or visually impaired wherever they are along their journey, whether that's by matching individuals with highly qualified guide dogs, providing guide dog readiness skills in our orientation and mobility immersion program.
A man holds a white cane and smiles broadly.
Or pairing youth and adults with the companionship of a canine buddy.
A young girl cuddles with her canine buddy.
Together, we are GDB.
My name is Renee Carrasco. My dog's name is Snoopy.
Renee sits in front of a fireplace.
So the reason that I wanted to get a guide dog was because I came across some videos from Guide Dogs for the Blind, and that was my introduction to guide dog travel.
Renee and Snoopy walk along a city sidewalk and cross a street at an intersection.
What I saw was the ease of travel, the speed that the guide dog handler would move with. That's what I wanted for myself. And not only that, but it was also the companionship.
Renee and Snoopy play with a tug toy outside in the yard.
Working with Snoopy has changed my life dramatically because there's so much freedom that comes along with having a guide dog. It's made the hard parts of blindness not so hard.
Renee sits next to Snoopy and gives him a pat on the chest.
I feel like my outlook on life and the world is so much more positive having Snoopy in my life.
My name is Amit Ahuja, and my guide dog's name is Tashi. I had the opportunity to complete Guide Dogs for the Blind's Orientation and Mobility Immersion Program.
Amit stands on a path with his white cane.
And not only did it help me learn to navigate my environment more safely using a white cane, it also made me an even more confident guide dog handler.
My experience was just fabulous.
Amit and his O&M instructor analyze an intersection and cross a city street.
We trained in different locations, practiced different skills, worked out a way to analyze a traffic crossing. I think GDB has transformed my life. To say that it's meeting my needs would be an understatement.
My name is Ella, and this is my canine buddy, Lafferty.
Ella sits on the floor of a living room next to a black lab.
Lafferty is just so amazing in many ways. He's such a good boy. He brings me so much joy and is one of my best friends.
With kids with visual impairments,
Ella's mom, Christy McKerney.
the struggle is real for social contact. It's hard to make friends sometimes. And with Lafferty, he's an automatic draw for all kids, which is wonderful. Lafferty has totally opened up, for Ella, new social connections.
Back to Ella.
I would recommend canine buddies. They're just really good dogs, and they can change a person's life and make it better.
All of Guide Dogs for the Blind services are provided free of charge, and our work is made possible by the generous support of our donors and volunteers.
Renee sits next to Snoopy on the grass in the park.
We receive no government funding.
This organization has made such a huge impact on my life and the lives of so many countless people, and the donors are the ones that make that possible.
Close-up of Snoopy.
Thank you so much.
Ella and Lafferty.
Thank you.
From the bottom of my heart, thank you.
Amit and his guide dog Tashi sit on a beach and watch the sunset.
Together, we are unstoppable. To learn more about our life-changing programs and to support our work, please visit guidedogs.com or scan the QR code.
My name is Emily Algranati, and I had the pleasure of being one of the instructors in this graduating class of guide dog graduates. I'm also a certified orientation and mobility specialist, and so that means from time to time I have the privilege of instructing in another one of our programs. And today we are recognizing recent graduates of that program, and that is the Orientation and Mobility Immersion Program, also referred to as OMI or sometimes even OMI. And this is a 1 or 2 week program aimed at enhancing independent travel skills for individuals, including those interested in qualifying for a guide dog, or those who already have a GDB dog. OMI serves as a crucial training opportunity for people with limited access to traditional O&M services, preparing them to travel independently and partner effectively with a guide. And I'm going to pass the microphone to Candace, who will introduce those graduates.
Thank you, Emily. Today we are recognizing 3 different people. Alyssa Jennings and Kimberly Wilson are graduating of OMI program class EBCOM 28 that was held in Earl Baum campus of the Lighthouse in Santa Rosa, California. The instructors for this program were Steve Edu, Regina Crutches, and Mark Gillard, who is the supervisor. Elisa was, allergies. Elisa primarily lives in Houston, Texas, and has a farm in Ben Wheeler, Texas. She recently graduated from massage school and passed her licensing test. Yay! She enjoys spending time with her husband and large pet dogs. Kimberly lives in Louisville, Texas, and is a proud mother and grandmother with goal of becoming a nurse practitioner. She said she is not letting her disability stand in her way. Go Kimberly. So, photo description behind me. The image shows a very happy staff and clients at Earl Baum campus. Is in the middle of California wine country with a stately oak tree and blue skies in the background. Standing in from left to right is Regina wearing a gray top, Mark wearing a dark shirt and baseball cap, Alyssa holding a long cane and a bright blue baseball cap, Stephanie wearing sunglasses and light-colored top. Kimberly is holding a long cane and wearing one of our bright yellow reflective jackets. And Steve is wearing a black t-shirt and a black baseball cap. All right, how about a round of applause for these guys? I would also like to recognize one more person. That's Gary G. Gunderson, who is a graduate of the in-home OMI program, class CA-OM38D. He received instruction from orientation and mobility specialist Angela Smith with Mark Lard as a supervisor. Now, Gary sent a note that he'd like me to read. It says, I am grateful for participating in the O&M immersion program. I am also excited to learn a whole new mindset and techniques that I've never known before. It opens a whole new world for me. The experience was phenomenal, and so is Angela, my instructor. So I want to say congratulations to the orientation and mobility program graduates, all three of them. How about one more hand of applause?
Thanks, Candace. Now we're going to turn to our guide dog graduates. Our guide dog class is a 2-week program where clients are matched with a dog that is compatible with their lifestyle to enhance their mobility. And we provide a variety of training models that include both in-residence programs here on campus and in-home training. And today we're recognizing 3 graduates of our in-residence class, OR505. And before I introduce them, I just want to say this class, all our classes are amazing, and this class has been exceptional. They've worked incredibly hard. They've shown dedication, resilience, and good humor throughout. We laughed and laughed and laughed, and I want to keep them and their dogs forever, but I don't get to. So off we go. Our first graduate is Vaughn Brown of Spokane, Washington. Vaughn works as an employment consultant for job seekers with disabilities for a nonprofit in Washington State. In his spare time, he is a jazz musician and enjoys spending time in nature. He is also a canine and an equine enthusiast. We saw him giving many a massage to his guide. Vaughn is graduating with his 3rd guide dog and his very first from GDB, which is special for us, Yellow Lab Male Clay, raised by Marilyn Wiley Bauer of Cupertino, California.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you for the introduction. As she said, this is my 3rd guide dog, and I'd like to tell you just a very short story. My first guide dog I received when I was 18 in 2006, and he was stellar. He helped me believe that guide dogs was a useful companion as well as a partner. He went with me for 12 years before retiring, and then I went to get my 2nd dog in March of 2020, and the pandemic happened. And as a result, and his personality, I retired him early. I waited a year before coming here, so I have time to think about it. And when I came here, I was concerned about how this dog would work out. And I can tell you the very first day I met him, I said, this is the dog. The 3rd day, we were working together, I said to Emily, I'm keeping him. I want to thank the donors who have made this possible. I have worked for nonprofits myself, and I still do, and I understand the value of what it takes to run it. And I appreciate you opening your checkbooks and offering up your credit card information to keep this in. So continue to do that, because this program has benefited not just myself, but thousands of others. I want to thank Marilyn, who was the puppy raiser along with her team, for raising Clay. She and I spoke, I believe it was Wednesday night, for a good hour, and I think I kept her up past her bedtime. She answered my questions, and she gave me a lot of useful insights, and I'm very much looking forward to building Clay's personality from this point forward. I also want to thank Richard, who I had a chance to meet, who trained him. And oh golly, this dog had quite the adjustment, because he is way bigger than I am. Very tall indeed. And so Richard, thank you so much for laying the foundation for a dog that I can trust. I want to thank Emily and Candace both for being wonderful instructors. As I mentioned earlier, I came to this campus with a lot of anxiety based on my previous experience with my second dog, and they have been very great. They had shown a lot of grace, patience, and much laughter that we had shared through the process. So thank you for that. I want to encourage my fellow graduates who, for one of them is her first dog, and for the other is her second dog. I have watched you both grow in your relationship with your dogs, and I've watched you build your confidence throughout the last 2 weeks. Remember that you will be the trainer once you walk off at this campus. You will be the advocates for the community of guide dog handlers in the community, and you will be wonderful teammates for your animals. I love you both, and I wish you well. Thank you.
Unfortunately, Marilyn was unable to be here today, but she sent a short little message that she would like me to read to Vaughn. I would like to congratulate Vaughn and Clay as a successful team. I would also like to thank the trainers for making a perfect match. Clay will have a wonderful time with Vaughn. I am so happy for this match. I'm looking forward to hearing their many adventures in the upcoming years. Congratulations. And behind me, we have 2 pictures. The photo on the left is a yellow lab, Clay, at 9 weeks on his first day in his new home. Clay is lying on pavers in his razor's backyard with his front legs outstretched. Aww. The one on the right, yellow lab Clay, on the 4th of July, the day he returned to campus for a formal training. Clay and his razor are both smiling while sitting in front of a wooden Guide Dogs for the Blind sign. Right.
Our next graduate is Kate Desart of Mesquite, Nevada. Kate is enjoying retirement with her husband, Al, and her pet dog, Baker. Together, they enjoy traveling, going on hikes, and spending time in the gym. Kate also enjoys the arts and attends classes at the Mesquite Art Center. Kate is graduating today with her second guide, Yellow Lab female Janie, raised by Anna Portinga of Portland, Oregon.
Thank you, Emily. So I just like Vaughn had said, I appreciate all of the donors and volunteers, puppy raisers, and our instructors, Emily and Candace. Thank you so much. And I'm just so excited. She's such a good dog and so amazing in her guide work that the last couple of days I was able to just walk without having to actually think and try and interpret my environment. And that is something that is priceless to me. We like to go hiking and walking and go on adventures, and she loves the trail work. So I'm really excited to start that with her. And I appreciate Anna, the puppy raiser. that raised her to be such a wonderful dog. My involvement with guide dogs started back in late 90s when my son and I were puppy raisers. And we know how hard it was to give up that dog at the end, to send him off to school to be a guide dog, because we'd been with him for a year. I got my first guide dog in 2008 and had to retire her early. And so this is my second dog, and I'm just really happy to have her. So again, thanks to everyone. And Richard, the trainer, did an amazing job. I don't want to forget. And I'm sure I forgot a lot of people. But again, thank you to all of you for showing up this afternoon. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
So I'm here to say a few words for Janie. And she is just an amazing pup. She was flown in from California. She had to be put off a few days because it was so hot in Portland, and she didn't have an air-conditioned crate that we had to wait. But then she came with her little crate mate, Mariposa, and what we thought was just a big crate with two little blonde cuties in it actually turned out to be a power puppy crate, because Janie's a guide, and Mariposa will soon be expecting her first litter of future guide dogs. She was raised by the Vancouver Club. We've been talking, Kate and I, a lot about Janie, and her superpower is really sweetness, and it's that sweetness, though, that caused long-time puppy sitters to decide to become raisers, that caused, a young puppy raiser in our club to shyly ask for some Janie cuddle time after every single meeting. And I used to worry a tiny bit that maybe she was too sweet, that maybe, she didn't have that grit. And I have found that her confidence and strength and sweetness are not mutually exclusive, that she has what it takes. And so happy that she and Kate have found each other, and that Kate loves to hike because Janie's a great walker, and just can't wait to hear about their future adventures.
And last but not least, our final graduate is Christy Godden of Austin, Texas. Christy works as a lawyer for the University of Texas at San Antonio. She will be returning home to her husband, Craig, 9-year-old son, Thomas, and pet dog, Zoe. In her spare time, Christy enjoys spending time with friends, watching college football, and going on walks in the neighborhood. Christy is graduating today with her first guide dog, Black Lab male Newton, raised by Emmy Starchvik and Aaron Nemavant, both of Corvallis, Oregon.
Thank you, Emily, for that introduction. As Emily said, and I'm probably going to cry, and I'm sorry. Newton is my first guide dog, and I'm so unbelievably grateful for this program and the amazing people that support it. The amazing people, come here, buddy. The amazing people that work so hard every single day to make this program happen. The donors that support it, the volunteers, the puppy raisers. I can't tell you, meeting Aaron and Emmy and getting to talk to them, man, they are angels. And I will be forever grateful to the both of you because you've made an amazing, amazing dog for me. And he's going to be my best friend. He is the best boy ever. This dog he's got grit and drive, but he's also funny. He's got this amazing little dance wiggle. We have a dance party every morning after breakfast. And, Emily mentioned that I am a wife and a mother and an attorney. And as you guys all know, that keeps me very, very busy. And I have been really, this is a new phase in my life, and I really know that Newton is going to help guide me into that new phase, all puns intended. But none of us could be here, me or Vaughn or Kate could be here without your support, the support of our family. I'm so happy to be joined today by my parents, Katrina and Dale Wilkins, who have supported me my entire life. My husband and my son, Craig and Thomas, who are watching from home. All of you who have come out to support all of us, including Aaron and Emmy and all of their friends. The people here at this program who have fed us all week and checked on us, the wonderful nurses and RAs and the people in the cafeteria, just so many amazing, amazing people. Y'all just don't even know what goes into all of this. And last but certainly not least, Emily and Candace, who have put up with the three of us all the last 2 weeks. Newton and I, when we get going, man, we can move, and I think we probably terrified Emily several times. But it's really freeing and really just an exciting new journey. And I know I've said it already, but I will be forever, forever grateful. So thank you so very much to all of you. You'll always be a part of my family and in my heart.
Oh gosh, I know it's okay. Now we're all like crying up here. But yeah, for me personally, Newton is my first guide that I've raised and my third service animal. And he is just the most special boy. During my time training him over the past year, when he wasn't working, he, had his wiggles and his dance parties, and he loved his naps, and he got his zoomies, and he was just the perfect puppy. And then when he was working, he was just the fastest walker ever. And he was so focused, and he loved to learn, and he loved to work. And Emmy and I really, really got lucky with him this past year, and we were also super lucky to have such an amazing community around us to help us. If someone needed to watch him, they'd be like, oh my gosh, of course, because who wouldn't? And yeah, everyone was always so helpful, and so I'm so proud of him, and I'm so happy that he found his match with Christy. I think you guys are perfect together, and he grew up on a college campus, and he's going to go right back to one, so that's kind of awesome and kind of perfect. So yeah, I will definitely keep puppy raising in my lifetime, but Newton will always hold such a special place in my heart, and I'm so proud of you both.
So Newton was this is Emma. When we got here, Emily said that she knew we were all going to be criers. She was like, I read your fun things, and I immediately told Christy that your puppy raisers are going to be criers. And we're like, yeah, absolutely. Newton was my first guide puppy, my first puppy really ever that I raised, and I think he was the best first puppy that I ever could have gotten. I picked him up from the airport in Portland when he was 8 weeks old, and he was so small, I thought maybe they had sent me the wrong dog. But it turns out he's actually just the travel-sized Labrador, because he stayed small the whole time. So he was the perfect puppy. Ever since he was little, he had this giant jolly ball that he would carry around, and he wanted to show you how cool it was, and he would wiggle, and if you didn't tell him how cool his toy was, he would get very sad. So you have to tell him how amazing his toys are, and he still does that today. As Aaron said, we're vet students, so we raised Newton during our whole second year, and he was perfect. At the end of classes, we'd get him naked and take off his gear, and everyone would kind of like come around in like a big circle around Newton, and he would just like wiggle throughout the whole circle, and people would scratch his butt as he was like walking through, showing everyone how cool his toys are, because his toys are the coolest toys you've ever seen. Yeah, he was just amazing. He's a huge cuddler. A lot of times during classes, I would just go sit in the back on the floor, and he would be asleep in my lap, and we'd be doing lectures like that. And he was just amazing. He was such a joy to raise. I think we got lucky. He was pretty easy, other than his little temper tantrums. He still has his temper tantrums a little bit. But everyone always told me too, once guide dogs does such a perfect job matching the clients up with the dogs. And he's my first dog, so I'd never really seen that before, and I was a little nervous. But when we talked to Christy on Thursday, it was, sorry. It was, hold on. One moment, please. It was just a lot of reassurance knowing that they really are so perfect together. And I know he's going to keep you safe, and he's going to be your best friend, and I know that you'll love him just as much as we do. And I'm so glad that you guys found each other. That's all. Thank you.
Well, while everyone gets their tissues, let's give one more round of applause for the hard work and dedication of these wonderful teams.
Well, I don't know how I'm going to follow that. All right, we're going to do a demonstration, including Emily and a black lab by the name of Freddie. She's going to be demonstrating how we teach dogs to do very specific things. And to do that, she's going to be using a clicker, which is a small box that produces a very precise sound. And the dogs know that that sound bridges the time between what they did precisely to receiving the food. So it's kind of bridging it. Very similar to saying good or something like that, but good is a very common word in English, so the clicker is not, and it really lets the dog know they're doing something correctly. We use this for everything from teaching basic obedience all the way up to teaching how to find a curb, how to find a bench, which I have sitting out here, or how to find, say, a pole with a button for crossing the street. So when Emily comes up, she's going to do some basic obedience, and if you listen for the click, that is telling the dog it's doing the behavior correctly. So she waited till the dog's rear end actually touched the ground before she clicked. These dogs already know the behavior, so this is actually kind of a cheat here because they've already learned this behavior, but it gives you an idea of what we're doing. She can't get that food down to his mouth as he's actually laying down because that would be distracting. This is telling him, yes, that's what I want. Now here's your reward. So we use this in a lot of ways. We use this not only to teach like the obedience and the other stuff, we also use it for teaching very precise things, such as finding a chair where we might want the dog to find a specific spot or a specific chair. Dog comes around, he sits down, finishes the behavior, and she marks it. So this is something that we have been using for about the last 15 years or so. Before that, we used traditional. And one of the things that's so very nice about Clicker is it's very positive based. So the dogs really, they get into it. They start listening. How do I make that box make that sound again? And this is a great example of it. She's going to first off show the dog how to find her hand. So she puts her hand out in a very specific manner with a fist made. That tells the dog, okay, I need to touch it because there might be food in there. And she makes that click, and he goes, ooh, the first time I touched it, it clicked. Why don't I try it again and see if I can get it to make that wonderful noise again that produces the food. So as she continues getting closer to this bench, she continues presenting her hand. The dog continues to find it. Now, the dog has actually already been taught that the hand will transition to something else. So as she shows the dog, I am going to put my hand on this bench, he's already thinking, I've done this before, she must want me to find the bench. So if you saw that, he actually turned and found the bench right away. Is this sounding really familiar to you clients? So as you can see, she's backing up a little bit each time, and as she backs up, name tag fell off. As she backs up, she's giving the dog the ability to beat her to that bench. And the dog says, hey, if I get to the bench, I get food. So as you watch, she'll go even farther back. And she picks up the harness. That tells me that she's positive that dog is going to find that bench. And he sure did. You want to take him back to the stairs and we'll see how he does? What do you think? You think he'll do it, guys? There's an affirmative. And the very last thing Emily will do is sit down on the bench to say, see, this was a useful thing. Yeah, let's go ahead and give him a hand applause. This concludes the graduation OR505. So I want to say to the clients, thank you guys. Emily's right, you guys were absolutely wonderful. I really appreciate everything for the last 2 weeks. Thank you very much. A couple of quick announcements. One is if you're here for the puppy meeting, please head to the back of the room, and Linda, if Linda's here, there she is. She's waving her hand. She can go ahead and set up for anybody that is here for the puppy meeting. If you're interested in a tour, please go into the other room, and they'll be by the cookie jar. Yeah, they'll be over by the refreshments is what I was told earlier. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, and have a great day.